For centuries, renowned thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca taught that true power and happiness comes not from controlling external events, but from understanding and taking charge of our perceptions, judgments, and emotional responses. Their timeless wisdom distilled into profound mind hacks shows you how to remain calm, present, and virtuous amid any turmoil life throws your way. These 12 Stoic mind hacks will rewire your brain to stay calm, focused, and in control, no matter what life throws your way. 1. Control your thoughts. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Most people unconsciously let their mind run rampant, buying into every worry, fear, and limiting belief that pops up. But you can choose what thoughts to entertain or dismiss. Imagine you're watching a parade of thoughts pass by. You get to decide which floats are allowed in and which get left behind. Don't engage with or attach meaning to thoughts that don't serve you. Let unproductive thoughts go and refocus on what matters. Over time, this lets you sculpt a mind centered on possibility instead of problems. The more you practice controlling your thoughts, the more power you have over your state. You stop being at the mercy of your churning mind and can face any situation with clarity. Struggles, fears, and setbacks no longer consume you. You observe them objectively and keep moving forward. This mental discipline is the foundation of an unshakable spirit. 2. Ask yourself, is it necessary? Let no act be done without a purpose. Marcus Aurelius. We often get bogged down in stuff that simply doesn't matter. Trivialities, gossip, comparisons to others. These drains on our time and energy rarely serve any real purpose. A powerful Stoic practice is frequently asking, is this necessary or helpful for me right now? Before you invest mental effort into a person, task, or issue, inquire within. Is expending your precious life force on this going to bring you closer to your goals and principles? If not, let it go immediately. Stop wasting energy on things that don't provide value. Apply this to your thoughts too. That worry, that grievance, that desire, is obsessing over it actually necessary or helpful? If not, release it decisively. You'll be amazed at how much freedom this gives you to invest your energy into what truly counts. Your days will feel longer, your mind clearer, and your life more purposeful when you eliminate the unnecessary burdens. Be vigilant about what you deem worthy of your attention. As Seneca said, time discovers truth. Looking back, you'll realize most struggles you agonized over amounted to nothing. 3. Don't suffer imagined troubles. There is nothing the body suffers which the soul cannot profit by. George Meredith. So much of our pain comes not from reality, but from the catastrophizing stories we tell ourselves about reality. We take a small issue and spiral it into doomsday scenarios, playing endlessly in our minds, dramatically increasing our suffering. The Stoics recognized that while we can't control every external circumstance, we can absolutely refuse to torment ourselves over hypotheticals and worst-case projections. Before you succumb to fear, realize that you're currently okay in this precise moment. Take a dreaded event like public speaking. In reality, the present issue is just standing and talking, something you've done thousands of times. It's your mind that transforms this into an excruciating ordeal of judgment, embarrassment, and shame. None of those imagined horrors have happened yet, so why pre-suffer them? Focus your mind on objective facts about the current reality rather than conjuring up future pain. You'll be amazed at how much simpler and less daunting challenges become. As Seneca put it, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Don't construct your own emotional jail. 4. What is within us is far more powerful than anything outside of us. A generous mind always regards itself as a portion of the universe. Seneca. In the modern world, we are relentlessly told that the keys to fulfillment lie outside ourselves, in relationships, wealth, status symbols, and achievements. But the Stoics knew this path only leads to emptiness and enslavement to transient externals. True contentment, resilience, and sense of purpose can only be cultivated from within. No romance, mansion, or sports car can give you that. When your sense of self-worth is rooted in your virtues, principles, and internal fortitude rather than externals, you become unshakable. Imagine two people who both suffer a devastating personal or professional loss. The person whose identity was based on those external factors will crumble. The one whose core value comes from their self-discipline, wisdom, and good character will stand tall. The world can never take away your control over your own mind, ethics, and actions if you refuse to hand over that power. As Marcus Aurelius reminded, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Cultivate the impregnable strength that comes from realizing your own mind is the ultimate high ground. 5. Treat success and failure the same. Elevate yourself not by putting down others, but by elevating others as well. Seneca. Our society tends to go berserk over achievements, judging people as successful or failures based on their wins and losses. But the Stoics would laugh at making grandiose judgments from such a short-sighted, superficial perspective. Imagine shouting, "I'm a failure," after missing a shot in basketball, or "I'm a massive success," after hitting one. It's nonsensical because these outcomes ultimately don't matter that much in the grand scheme of life. True success is embodied through your values and character, not empty results. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." A sporting event, job promotion, or business deal is ultimately external and beyond your control, so why let it shake you? Treat both the perceived success and failure as neutral data points to learn from, nothing more. Extract the lessons, make wiser decisions next time, and keep calmly moving towards your principles. Avoid arrogance from high moments and despair from low ones. As Marcus Aurelius put it, accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. 6. Your happiness depends on you, none else. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt, inspired by Stoic philosophy. A core Stoic belief is that your reality is shaped not by events, but by the perspectives you choose. If your sense of self and well-being is dictated by others' judgments or treatment of you, you've willingly handed them complete control over your life. When you base your worth on others' opinions, every criticism or perceived slight becomes devastating. Every social media humble brag threatens your self-esteem. Every achievement of your friends or colleagues diminishes your confidence in yourself. But when you root your self-worth in your own sturdy principles and values that remain unwavering no matter what others do or say, you become unperturbable. Their negativity slides off you like rain from an umbrella. As Seneca taught, most powerful is he who has power over himself. You've heard the common refrain, "You can be right or you can be happy." Rarely do people apply this to their relationship with themselves first. When you choose happiness, confidence, and self-respect before needing outer validation, your power becomes impregnable. 7. Pause, then act. First thing every morning, practice saying to yourself, "Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, unsavory, envious, and unsocial. They are that way because they cannot tell good from evil." Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism teaches that many of our most self-destructive and unethical actions come not from a place of evil, but from lack of self-control and consideration in the heat of the moment. A powerful remedy is to insert a pause before you react. In any situation that triggers you, consciously stop and take a breath before responding. Use that space to recenter back into your core principles and sense of reason. Ask if getting hot-headed, spiteful, or losing your composure helps or hurts you in this situation. You'll find that reacting rashly from anger or taking things overly personally rarely improves matters. The pause creates a psychological buffer between the stimulus and your response. It's in that space where you can decide, am I going to act in alignment with my deepest values and philosophies here? Or will I let my base impulses run the show and likely create negative consequences I'll later regret? The Stoics knew that the key to keeping your calm in turbulent situations is consistent practice of pausing and tapping into your higher reasoning before acting. You'll be amazed at how this one habit elevates your behavior from that of an unthinking animal reacting to its environment. to a rational human being consciously directing their life in accordance with their virtues. As Seneca wrote, "There is no incurable itch of human souls which is not cured by wonder, the higher, the better." 8. Distinguish what you can control. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. So much of our mental anguish comes from fixating on things beyond our control and influence. We fret over the weather, the economy, other people's decisions and opinions and circumstances that can't be changed no matter how hard we lament. The Stoics would consider this a foolish waste of the human soul's energy. There are only a few things you truly hold dominion over: your thoughts, judgments, desires, goals, ethics, and intentional acts. Everything else, your body, possessions, career, relationships, reputation, is ultimately impermanent and open to the whims of fate and fortune. Epictetus drew a useful metaphor. There are things which are within our power, and there are things which are beyond our power. Within our power are opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and in one word, whatever affairs are our own. Beyond our power are body, property, reputation, office, and in one word, whatever are not properly our own affairs. Free yourself from anguish by focusing your efforts solely on the essentials within your control: your intentions, reasoning, and steadfast commitment to virtue. What others think of you, what hand you're dealt in life, these are ultimately out of your dominion. As Seneca said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." 9. Do what you fear. The universe is transformation. Our life is what our mind makes it. Marcus Aurelius. One of life's unavoidable realities is that we all encounter fear. Fear of failure, rejection, loss, pain, even success itself. And for most, that fear becomes a paralytic force that prevents growth, opportunity, and the full realization of one's potential. The Stoics would consider succumbing to fear to be a form of cowardice and voluntary enslavement of the mind. After all, the things you fear most are rarely as bad as your mind makes them out to be. And not facing your fears almost always leads to a diminished, remorse-filled life. The student of Stoicism learns to experience fear not as a threat, but as a signpost indicating precisely what must be done. When you feel that sinking feeling of dread about taking a certain action, that is your call to lean directly into it with full courage. As Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Face what you fear head-on, and you'll likely find it was never as petrifying as it seemed. And once that fearsome thing is overcome, your self-respect, confidence, and threshold for what you can handle expands immensely. No, this isn't about being reckless or irrational. It's about doing what you must do in accordance with wisdom and virtue, without letting fear obstruct you from your rational aims. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How ridiculously insecure to be cowering and conforming with the body when your part allows you to be confident in the presence of anyone whatsoever." 10. Find the beauty in routine. To bear all that falls to your lot and find forces within the fountain of your heart to deal with it with a high head and tranquil make. Marcus Aurelius. Modern society tends to glorify ambition, hustle, and relentless pursuit of more money, possessions, achievements, experiences. But in doing so, it neglects the profound wisdom and grounding that comes from finding beauty and fulfillment in life's simple routines. The Stoics understood that no amount of wealth or fame could bring lasting satisfaction. True contentment comes from deriving meaning from your daily actions and duties, embracing each humble moment rather than constantly living for some intangible future payoff. When you go through your morning routine, don't just mindlessly shower, dress, and rush out the door. Imbue those simple acts with intentionality, presence, and even reverence. Take pride in making your bed crisply. Savor each bite of your modest breakfast. Get dressed with a sense of dignity. Those seemingly insignificant daily rituals, done with sincere dedication and artfulness, become deeply satisfying meditative practices that cultivate patience, discipline, and appreciation for life's simple gifts. As Seneca wrote, "A great step is taken towards independence when a good mental habit is formed." The Stoics knew that most of life was made up of little things, walking down the street, doing chores, conversing with loved ones, so they worked to extract every drop of joy, wisdom and beauty from those ordinary moments that others took for granted. In doing so, they achieved a heavenly, cloudless state, while everyone else chased storms. 11. Accept life's cyclical nature. It is in keeping with nature's law that springtime alternates with ardent summers, fruitful autumns with winter's frost and chill, that sun succeeds to rain, and so by a blessed interwoven sequence. Seneca. One of the core principles of Stoicism is accepting the cyclical nature of life, constantly ebbing and flowing between ease and difficulty, growth and rest, life and death. Fighting against this perpetual changing of seasons only leads to resentment and suffering. The wise student of Stoicism recognizes that just as winter's harshness enables spring's blooming, life's difficulties enable profound growth, learning, and resilience. To attempt to circumvent all struggle is to reject nature's wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius put it, what is bad cannot be expelled from the world, any more than cold and heat, opposition and contrast. During life's inevitable winters, illness, financial hardship, heartbreak, the Stoic remains steadfast. They view the difficulty not as unfair persecution, but as an opportunity to exercise their courage, temperance, and inner fortitude. Growth arises from the challenges we overcome, not from the unrealistic fantasy of endless sunny days, and in those spring and summer periods of life, times of good health, prosperity, or relationship bliss, the Stoic remains just as grounded. They don't fall into the trap of thinking, "I've arrived and it will last forever this way." They prudently enjoy the good seasons while preparing fortitude for the next difficulty, knowing one will surely come. The Stoic derives unshakable inner resilience from embracing this great truth. Life's inhales and exhales, struggles and reprieves, are forever linked in a wise cosmic dance. By keeping your acceptance of this reality, you remain at peace no matter what phase you're experiencing. 12. Cultivate self-responsibility. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Soak it then in such traits as these: truth, justice, courage, temperance. Marcus Aurelius. At the heart of Stoicism is the notion that every individual is ultimately responsible for their own life, choices, and thoughts. You cannot blame others or circumstances for your quality of existence. Only you determine your inner state and moral fiber. The undisciplined mind loves to make excuses, justifications, and finger-pointing when faced with poor results in life. It was my awful upbringing, bad influences, lack of opportunity, bad luck. On and on the rationalizations go to absolve oneself of true accountability. But the Stoics called this out as utter denial of human agency. At any moment, no matter your background or current circumstances, you get to choose how you respond, and whether you live with virtue and reason as your guides. You alone determine the quality of your mind and actions. The student of Stoicism rejects the victim mentality and embraces radical self-responsibility. They look inward first whenever they encounter challenges, asking, "How can I respond more rationally and ethically?" rather than casting blame outward. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This concept of eudaimonia, pursuing the life of virtue, excellence, and resilient self-control regardless of fortune, empowers the Stoic to create their own character destiny. Their sense of self-worth and moral identity arises purely from within, not from addictive praise or hostility from the world outside themselves. By holding themselves, not others or capricious fate, ultimately accountable for their path, the Stoic mind stays calm yet determined. They sidestep the resentment, excuses, and lack of agency that poisons so many lives. Instead, they wield their power of reasoned choice like a profound force, forever re-scripting their internal narratives towards wisdom, forgiveness, and righteous purpose. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.